The world was vivid and fresh. Eyes opened, we could almost touch imagination. Colors seemed to sparkle to the point of feeling alive. Sounds were illuminated and special, each one becoming a different kind of learning experience. Plastic animals the size of our thumbs became monsters of terror, causing us to run for our lives. Blades of grass became swords in which we fought off potential invaders. The trees sang songs that we danced to in the fields. Forts and tree houses, if we were lucky to have them, became imagination's dwelling place. Our shoes were always muddy, and we couldn't go a day without having sticky fingers. We played with dolls and action figures, and gave teddy bears names and personalities. Dental floss became whiskers, olives became rings, and rocks became treasure. We could play dress up for an afternoon and transform into princesses or owls. There were no thoughts of future events or of past grievances. Life was in the moment. Life was in the now. Every minute was extraordinary, and every idea brought adventure. But this world did not last. We lived and dreamed, but our worlds became fragmented anyway. The hate of others splintered our worlds into pieces of bland. Demeaning words broke down our confidence, our happiness, our innocence, and it made us blend, conform, and judge. Slowly but surely, we were told that what we believed, what we pictured, what we imagined was unrealistic. We became ridiculous. We became weird. Devastated, we allowed the tyrant, insecurity, to lead our lives. Insecurity relentlessly put our bodies into overdrive, causing us to think about what we say, about what we do, about how we dress, about how we talk, smile, drive, eat, run, cry, and laugh. He infiltrated the cracks of our shattered worlds and overtook imagination's throne, stomping the former king's face into the dust. The true tragedy is how unaware we were when it happened, when we lost our source of freedom. Caught in a time of transition, most of our minds were preoccupied with outrageous hormones, the newest trend, or scholastic studies. We did not even know to recognize the broken foundations of whom we were and how they were being manipulated and twisted by the tyrant and his right-hand man, fear. Suddenly, we awoke, driven by the expectations of those around us. Suddenly, we were more concerned with what people would think than acknowledging our integrity. Suddenly, we looked in the mirror and wondered who we were. And thus, our journey of self-rediscovery began. Because, of course, we have always known who we were defined by. We just didn't realize he had been dethroned by an imposter. So we began to fight and fight and fight against the tyrant and his army. Most of us lost, not having the strength to endure his forces, as we found out were often those closest to us. But those few and far between found imagination, the true king, locked deep inside under barrels filled with hurt, rage, and confusion. What we didn't know when we started was that having the courage to find him was the battle. By the time he became free of his chains, fear had turned on the tyrant insecurity, and we became more afraid of not being who we were than being who others wanted us to be. Like a butterfly just free of his cocoon, imagination spread his wings and began to flourish in our lives. With his years of captivity, he had gained the wisdom to turn his freedom into productivity. Whether it was in science, philosophy, or the arts, if imagination led our way, he took us to success. Once more we lived and dreamed, but we did so now with a purpose in mind. Instead of the tyrant's laden questions of woe, we were filled to the brim of thoughts on how things could improve the world for better. Life is simpler now. As a matter of fact, we can look in the mirror and see a wiser reflection of our younger world. We have come full circle, and we wouldn't have it any other way.